Hello, I'm Dr. Ellie Jameson and I'm a microbiologist. So today I'm going to talk to you about what I work on, which is microbiology. So that's the study of microorganisms. So today we're going to find out what microorganisms are and what they do for us. So microorganisms or microbes that I work on, these are tiny microorganisms which are invisible to the naked eye. So we'd have to use a microscope to look at them. And these are all around us. So there's around about 1 trillion microorganisms on our planet Earth. So 1 trillion is a really huge number. So that's a 1 and then 12 zeros after it. And if you want to know how big a trillion is, so 1 trillion seconds, do you know how long that is?
3,000 years.
So yeah, 1 trillion seconds, and each second is so short and small, but if you take 1 trillion seconds, that's the same as 30,000 years. So 1 trillion really is a big number. So microbes are tiny, and the organisms I work on are really, really tiny. So these are bacteriophages or phages, and these are viruses which kill bacteria. So I've got a few of my dress here. So this one's a bacteriophage, and this one is as well. And the bigger ones, these are the bacteria. So I work on phages which kill bacteria, which are different from the viruses which infect us. So there's all these different microorganisms around us, and they all have different roles. And some microbes can be really helpful to us. So microbes do different things for us. So some microbes make oxygen, which we breathe. So every third breath that you breathe is made by tiny cyanobacteria which live in our oceans. And they help make oxygen for us to breathe. Other microorganisms will help us make food. So yeasts help make bread and beer, and bacteria can help us make yogurt and cheese. And they also do other things for us as well. So they, inside our guts, we have a lot of bacteria growing. So inside the human body, there's about the same amount of bacterial and microorganism cells inside you as there are your own cells. So these are really important for breaking down all your food, and they can make important nutrients. So vitamin K is made by the bacteria which live inside us. They can also do things for us as well, like help us recycle. So they will break down food waste to make compost for us. They can also help break down oil in oil spills. And in the past, all the oil and gas which is on planet Earth now has been made by microorganisms. So they're everything, on everything we touch, and some of them are bad for us. So about 1 in 100 or less microorganisms are actually harmful to us and can make us sick. So they're absolutely everywhere. So they're in the air that we breathe, on every surface that we touch, in our food. So we can't avoid microbes, and they're really important for us. But some of them are bad. So especially at the minute, we're really aware of what might have microorganisms on it, so what might have coronavirus on it. So it's really important that we wash our hands to make sure that we haven't got any of these organisms which make us sick on there. So when you go outside and touch something, any surface could have bacteria, microbes, and coronavirus on it. So it's very important that we wash our hands after being outside and try not to touch our face, because these can get into our bodies through our eyes, through our noses, and through our mouths. So it's really important that we don't take anything we touch with our hands and put it on our faces, because then they'll get inside us and can make us sick. So we wash our hands after we've been outside. We always wash our hands after we've been to the toilet. We wash our hands after we've blown our nose. Wash our hands after we've coughed. And now what we want to do is try and get some of those good microorganisms and grow those up. So we want to grow up yeast today. So a good place to find yeast is on either fresh fruit, but the minute you really want to wash your fruit, and especially with soap and water. So we're going to use dried fruit. So this also has yeast on it. So we've got some different fruits which will probably all have different yeast on them. So we've got some mixed fruit, some raisins, and some apricots. But today, because it's the oldest, we're going to use the mixed fruit. So I hope it's got a bit more yeast in it than the other one. So Lily's just going to pour a bit into our clean jar here. And you've washed your hands this time, haven't you, Lily? Yes, you have this time. Right, okay, that'll be about enough. Right, so what are we going to add in here after our fruit?
Water.
Okay, so we're measuring out how much water we add. I'll just get some from the tap. So I'm just going to put cold water in here.
But can I?
You can pour it in, yeah. So we're just using a small amount of water. We just put 60 millilitres of water in here. So you're going to carefully pour that in there. And then what we're going to do after that, put the lid on and shaky, shaky, Lily. Get all those yeasts off the fruit and into our water. And what's it look like now, that water? Icky. So it should look a bit cloudy. So all the yeast and things off the surface and off it. So this might have a bit of flour in because we've just done this already. But so it might be a bit of flour in there. But so it's mostly just the yeast off the surface of it. So we've shaken it around, we've washed a bit of the yeast off, we can see it's gone a bit cloudy, and that's there's yeast off the surface of the fruit now going into the water and making it look cloudy. Now, what do we need to add? How much of this do we need to add, Lily? The same amount of flour we're adding, if you have flour.
That might be it.
And then put that into your jar. Right, okay, yeah. So we put that in there. So if you don't have, I'm using self-raising flour. Plain flour is probably the best one that you can use. You can also use things like, say, starchy water that you've come off that you maybe wash potatoes with, or wash pasta with, or corn flour would also work to help grow your yeast. Yeah, so shake that one up. So it just needs some food. So the flour is the food to get the yeast growing. So as long as we've got some kind of food in there for the yeast to grow on and eat. So that's the starch. Starch is from the flour.
I cannot see anything.
No. You shake it up really well so it's all mixed together. Yeah. So now we've mixed this up really well. So it's got equal amounts of flour and water in there, and some of our dried fruit as well. And now we need to find somewhere nice and warm to put this. So you can put it in an airing cupboard, you can put it on top of your fridge freezer, you can put it on a nice sunny warm windowsill, somewhere nice and warm, but not hot is the ideal place to get this growing. And after about 12 hours, you should hopefully see some bubbles starting to appear. And then after 2 days, it should get to a point where it's bubbling quite a lot and it needs some more food. So then from that point onwards, what you need to do is you need to take out a small scoop of this and add it into a fresh jar and feed it equal amounts of water and flour again. And keep doing that so for the first time you need to wait 2 days, and then after that, if you keep it somewhere warm at room temperature, then every 1 day you'll need to give it some more water and flour. But you can also keep it in the fridge, and if you keep it in the fridge, then you only need to feed it the flour and water in equal proportions once a week. And then you can use some of this to make bread with. So you can make sourdough with this. Hopefully you'll get bubbles. And then if you want, you can take a smell of it now, and it doesn't really smell very much, a bit of the flour. But if it's starting to work and you see bubbles, then you should be able to start smelling a sour smell and maybe a bit of alcohol in there, and that will tell you that the yeast is growing. So enjoy trying to grow some of your own microorganisms which are helpful, and see you next week. Thank you, bye.